Hi guys, welcome back. In the previous tutorial we started modelling our parts of our aeroplane. We modelled these two components here, fuselage and the rudder. Today we're going to be looking at how we might model some of these trickier parts, which is the tail and the wing. So we're going to use two different systems to do that. To model the tail, we're going to start off, there we go, with an 80 by 50 box. So we start to create a new sketch again. And again, we want to try and go on the same plane as we previously have drawn. And we're going to start with a rectangle. And we're just going to draw that one out. 1, 2. Now, what were the dimensions? Let's check them. 50 by 80. Alrighties. So I'm going to type 80, tab, and then 50, 50, and then enter. Alrighty, so that's the first part. Now, I'm going to show you probably the more time-consuming way, but it's a very accurate way. You can break up your drawings. I'm going to draw now a second rectangle. Now, the dimensions of this rectangle, we're just going to check here. So this rectangle is going to represent the space before we create that cutoff. So it's going to be a 30 by 80. Okay. So as we move our little cursor along here, we can see down the bottom there the dimension is highlighted. So we're going to type 80, press tab, 30, and enter. Okay. We're going to do a second rectangle. Now this rectangle is going to give us this these measurements here on the side. So if we've got a measurement of 40 for this little flat piece here of the tail, and we have a measurement of 80 for the total length, then that would mean that these two lengths here, the dotted lines, would be 20. So what I want to create is a rectangle that sits on that 20 millimeter line. I'm going to return back to Fusion. I'm going to go from this corner up, drag out, and enter my dimensions, 20, press tab, and 20. Enter. I'm going to repeat that process again from the opposite side. Okay, so 20, press tab, 20, and enter. All right, and now what I can do is I can actually use this, this line function first. So I'm going to draw a line between those 2 points, 1 and 2. And then I'm going to use my trim feature to trim off the additional lines. Okay. Trim, 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 trim. Okay, and if we finish sketch there, we'll see that's the next part that we've created. So if I want to extrude that now, I just need to make sure that I click in all of those spaces. Now I could have trimmed out all of those lines, so if you're finding one of them is difficult to select because you're in whatever design you've created, the space might be really small, just use that trim feature to trim out all those lines. So remember, we're working with 3 millimeter material, so that's why our distance is 3 millimeters, not meters. Press enter, and there's our next part. All right, I'm going to pause the video there, and I'm going to show you the mirroring process in our next tutorial.